I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Tudor Grantour Automatic, reference 2500 in stainless steel. You can see and you can purchase this historically inspired Tudor on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing information for this Tudor Grantour. Now the watch has a motorsports bent and historical inspiration, but it's of decidedly modern size, 42 millimeters across the round of the case, not including the crown and crown guards. It's not excessively thick, 11 millimeters thick. You can see how it has a nicely domed conical bezel that allows a tight sleeve or dress cuff to ride up over it, so while it's big, it isn't excessively tall. It is, however, fairly broad, 49.5 millimeters from lug to lug. You can see, because of the way the strap conforms to the case, that it does have a little bit of flare to it. So I will say that though this is a 49.5 lug to lug measurement, treat it like 55 millimeters from lug to lug, factoring in the strap flare that's involved. It might fight a much smaller wrist than mine. Remember, mine is 16 centimeters in circumference, so when you see that wrist shot, that's your perspective. I would say 15 centimeters might be the lower limit for wearing this watch with this strap. Now you can see the watch features a handsome dial, a nuanced case. It does have some fairly sensuous curves on its flanks. It is nicely made, and the contrasting finish, polished on the side, brushed or satin finished on the hoods of the lugs, does help to differentiate the large expanse of metal on this rather sprawling case. The bezel is beautifully made. All of lacquer, it has a gloss to it that's handsome, and this example is in excellent condition. Before we go too deep into the dial, I do want to talk about this vintage-inspired leather strap, and it is leather, but with its perforations, punch-out style, it actually evokes the Corfam synthetic straps of the 1970s. That's the era to which this watch largely pays homage, and unlike those originals, this one is the real thing. It is cowhide. It's paired with a very substantial clasp. You can see Tudor shield style blazon. Now you open the clamshell and you'll note ceramic retaining pins are used to ensure that the snap and crackle when you open and close this remains crisp over time. A thoughtful luxury upgrade on a fairly sundry component of a watch that represents an outstanding value proposition. The clasp itself is very nicely made, stainless steel, all of high polish, and very substantial. There's a little bit of brushed satin finish on the shield. Again, nicely made, thoughtfully designed on what could have been simply a throw-in component, basically a forgotten element of the watch. Again, given the price point, that's quite impressive attention to detail, as is the dial. Now you can see the Rayhaut outboard tracing the seconds. The race-style checkered flag pattern has been used on many watches over the years, both because it is sporty and overtly so, but also because the scalloped alternating notches make it a little bit easier to read not just seconds but fractions of a second. Now you can see that the watch isn't a chronograph, but it does sort of have that sporting sensibility from the early 70s. With all applied and blackened indices, you'll note that there are luminescent strips outboard of the indices, as well as superluminova appliques within the hands at center. Again, thoughtful design. You'll note that Tudor shield counterweight to the red-tipped seconds hand. This is a handsome watch with a dynamic dial, especially because the sunburst graining of it is deep, exceptionally reactive, and really plays up even in the soft light of my light box. Now the watch features 150 meter water resistance, so roughly 500 feet. Put it on a non-leather strap and you're good to go for aquatic activities. The watch also features what Tudor calls a Tudor caliber 2892. Admirable candor from Tudor. It's a 2892A2 variant, automatic winding, 38 to 40 hour power reserve. It does feature hacking seconds, so pull the crown, stop the balance, synchronize the time to a reference, and a quick set to the date, so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. This is a superb value proposition. A nicely sized watch with a handsome set of details, thoughtful details even, a surprising amount of self-conscious design where it's well expressed in historic paradigms, everywhere from the buckle to the strap to the Rayhaut to the dial itself. In short, this is an impressive watch, nicely priced and fun to own. You can see it and you can buy it on our website.